Yo, 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 what is up, everybody? Good morning. Welcome to Piper Academy. I'm Army Piper, and this is the Piper Academy Show. We come at you live every Monday through Friday morning at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, bringing you guys the news, the charts, the macroeconomics, everything you need to have knowledge, because knowledge is profit. Broadcasting from the new studio. It is finally complete. Happy to be here, but shout out to everyone who is joining us here today. If it is your first time here, then don't be afraid to go ahead and hit that subscribe button. It helps us a lot here, and you can do that right there. Hit that notification bell, and you'll get notified every time we go live. And if you enjoy this content, you get something out of it, you can wait till later, but do it before you leave. Hit that like button. It's absolutely free to do so. I just want to remind everyone, nothing on this show is financial advice, so please do not take anything as financial advice. We're giving you guys alpha information, data, so that you can intake it into your brain, do your own research, make your decisions. We're going to tell you what we're doing. We're going to tell you how we're looking at these movements in the markets. But at the end of the day, it is all on you. We do not give financial advice here, guys. But I don't do the show by myself. I have an amazing team. I've got Crux of Crypto doing all of my artwork and doing all of my social media management. I got ZTS Rhythm handling production. And then I've got two beautiful, wonderful people that show their faces here every morning with me. OC Guy, Tradefly. What's up, fellas?
What is going on? It is official. Let's go. We can finally all rest easy. And
yes, we had
apology.
Public apology. Public apology.
You gave me. You put me on the spot yesterday, and you're like, "Hey, man, what do you think?" I said no. I was wrong. I will say that here. Let's get it live. Let's get it on record. I was wrong.
It's okay. It's okay. I want to talk about what happened yesterday, because all week long, guys, we were talking about the ETF. And in little spots in there when I could, I would push in and let you guys know what was going on with CPI data. Now, I will tell you, the thumbnail I was doing this morning said "to the moon" for the headline on it. And it had two racing rockets of Ethereum and Bitcoin heading towards the moon. I had to add some explosions in there, because that little thing we've talked about all week long behind all the noise of the ETF was the CPI data that came out this morning. And guys, that CPI data came in, actually inflation information. We were actually going up. We were higher on inflation than what we were previously. The DXY absolutely pumping like crazy this morning, and a lot of pullback in the traditional market. So we're going to be taking a look at those. We're going to be looking at the Dixie. We're going to be taking a look and see where are some good support levels. Crypto not falling. I will point this out. Bitcoin is not falling as hard as the traditional markets this morning, even though Bitcoin is a piece of the traditional markets. The rocket thrust that it has going on for the ETF launch yesterday, which actually approval yesterday, launched this morning, is actually holding Bitcoin up decently. So we're going to take a look at all of that. But good morning to you guys. Thanks for joining us here. OC, how are you doing today, man?
Denied. I know I was saying it is not going to be happening. Well, it just happened.
It happened.
It happened. It happened. But yeah, I mean, nonetheless, I remember that yesterday I was also saying that I was going to be also taking advice. Not advice, but taking in what TShroom was saying. That's why he was on the show, and I was getting a little bit of crypto somewhere around there. It seems like it's moving upwards, and nonetheless, I also did a beautiful small short there yesterday. So until that middle section of the range we were looking at. So right now we see Bitcoin not moving, so that's pretty weird. Nonetheless,
it's about to break 48K as we speak right now, actually.
Okay, well, we're going to get into this. Let's get into this right now. Yeah, let's get into the news. Let's lay this out. I'm going to run through this pretty quick today, guys. It's going to be a lot of headlines, but we will make sure that that we get any of the pertinent information out of these articles. Okay, so let's go ahead and jump into here. Got a new camera angle for you guys. New camera angles coming here. Look at this. Yeah, camera switches up, bro. Let's go. So check it out here. We got crypto bubbles here, guys. Looking here on the daily, you can see a lot of green still. If you look on the past hour, though, getting quite a bit of red coming in. A lot of the stuff is getting some pullbacks, but it pumped like crazy yesterday, so not unexpected, okay? Let's go ahead and jump in here, take a look at what we're working with. We have Oh, why did I just do that? Let's not do that. Let's go back. Thank you. I totally lost my page there. There we go. There we go. Bitcoin up right now, still up 1% in the past hour, up 5.7% in the past 24 hours, up 10% for the day. 7-day, I mean, for the week. Ethereum up 18% for the week, though, guys. Starting to get a little pullback on that in the past hour. Still up 9.8% in the past 24 hours here. BNB not performing that great, although it did get a 6.6% pump. Still down 1% for the week there. Solana, folks, 12% yesterday. Still up 0.4% right now. XRP getting a lot of movement on this XRP Ripple token here. Lot of chatter in the X right now about an ETF for XRP. So don't know anything on that definitive that it's going to happen, but I just want to point that out, that there's a lot of chatter. And when you get a lot of chatter, that's how I was able to call Snake before it moved off. And Jenna X was able to get in there and make some money on Snake because of that. It's literally because it was a lot of chatter on it that I said, this much chatter, something's going to move, right? Cardano up 19.4% yesterday. So let's go, Charlie. Old Charles Hoskinson in that beautiful project that dropped in on Billy Goat Tales this week. So Avalanche up 17.5% for the past 24, still up 1% on the hourly. And let's round it out here with, let's see where Caspa's at. I want to go check out Caspa, and then we're going to jump into the news and then get to the charts. Where you at, Caspa? Caspa number 37. Oh, it dropped to 39. Caspa is up 1.3% for the past 4 hours, up 11.6% for the past day, and up 18.9% for the past 7 days. So Bitcoin liquidations here, folks. Let's get this clicked here and let's jump over here and see. In the past 24 hours, $277.7 million in wrecked liquidations, 105 of those being longs, 171 of those million being shorts. So, and you can see the biggest one, Ethereum. I think a lot of people were thinking it's running out of steam. It's got to pull back eventually. Not going to. In the past 24 hours, 88,962 traders were liquidated. Total liquidations come in at 277.7 million, as we already stated. Largest single liquidation was on ETH for $3.8 million. This is the information I was talking about, and I told you guys this early in the week. Matter of fact, I even laid it out here on X. I pulled it up and I said, guys, here's your events for the week right here. You need to know these. And I said, there's a key events. Big one is going to be on Thursday when we get the CPI inflation data and we get initial jobless claims. I had this bookmark all week, been talking to you guys about it. Well, what happened? See, what had happened was we had this core inflation rate come in, and this inflation rate right here, this is what is causing all this market turmoil right now. We were at 3.1% year over year. Consensus was that we'd be at 3.2. Forecast at 3.1. We actually came in at 3.4. We are up 0.3% higher on the inflation rate than what we were previously. We were getting ready to go down into that low 3 or high 2s. We're now back to mid 3%. And remember, 2% is the goal. So if 2% is the goal and we're looking at 3.4% here, guys, this is going in the wrong direction. This is scaring the markets right now, and we're starting to see some shifting. The FOMC from the CME here, I'm just going to go into the Kabisi letter because he broke it down really well for us. He says, and I quote, this is the Fed rate cut by March 2024, 39% chance. And he says, after CPI inflation jumped to 3.4% in December, prediction markets are severely discounting the chance of a March rate cut. We started 2024 with a 70% plus chance of seeing interest rate cuts by March. After that strong jobs report and a hot inflation reading, which I just showed you, odds have nearly halved that we're going to see a rate cut in March now. It's 39% chance of a rate cut now. Most likely you're going to stay paused. Nothing on the table right now for rate increases, rate hikes, but it's definitely cooled off the investor bullishness for rate cuts coming. So still, markets are pricing in 6 rate cuts in 2024. The Fed only has 3 that they've said that they have leaned into. So right now, the investors still have a much greater sentiment for rate cuts coming than what we're seeing from the Fed right now. So This month's Fed meeting is going to be vital. Guys, that Fed meeting is going to be January 31st. If we go in here, let's look at for the month. There we go. And we will go down here and I'll show you guys where that's at. It's going to be on the 30th and the 31st. 31st right there, January 31st, Fed press conference and the rate decision. So that is the very important meeting that Kabisi Letter is talking about there. So let's get into this. JP Morgan, guys, Jamie Dimon, CEO, cutting criticism of Bitcoin. It raises eyebrows amidst the Bitcoin ETF involvement because if you guys don't know, he's got a lot of ETF stuff in his brand of JP Morgan Chase, right? But he's also made some recent comments about Bitcoin again. So in a recent interview with Fox, JP Morgan CEO Jamie Dimon once again expressed his negative views on Bitcoin and the broader cryptocurrency industry, citing concerns over illicit activities. His actual comment, I've always said that Bitcoin doesn't have value. The actual use cases are sex trafficking, tax avoidance, money laundering, and terrorism financing. It's not just people buying and selling Bitcoin. So, Jamie Dimon, I'm going to come at you as a subject matter expert on this from someone who's worked in threat finance for many years in the intelligence world, assisting DEA, assisting FBI, CIA, world abroad. We wish everyone would use crypto because it's much easier to track than the US dollar, especially when the US dollar goes into like a hawala, which is a finance system used in the Middle East. Bitcoin on chain, public record. You're an idiot, Jamie Dimon. That's all I got to say about that. So these comments echo his previous statements made during the Senate Banking Committee hearing, where he expressed opposition to cryptocurrency and suggested shutting them down if he were in the government. So thank God you're not in the government. You're just you're a banker that controls the government. So JP Morgan is being considered as an authorized participant responsible for creating and redeeming shares of funds on ETFs. So it's very conflicting narrative. I think what you got here is Jamie Dimon literally trying to FUD the industry so that people don't buy into this before he can get enough in his pocket. So I'm gonna put this in Elon Musk's most famous terminology. Go F yourself, Jamie Dimon. Look here, Ethereum Classic jumps 34% after Bitcoin ETF nod outshines Bitcoin. Okay. ETH and ETH gains. So Ethereum Classic, guys, I'm not a fan of it. Don't like it. If you don't know what it's from, it is a hard fork from Ethereum when there was a hack on the Ethereum network. Vitalik Buterin wanted to just erase those blocks, and the other developers in the team said, no, we need to keep it the same. Created a hard fork. Now you know. The more you know. But ETH, it has outshined ETH runs this week. So cryptocurrency Ethereum Classic has witnessed a 34% increase over the past 24 hours, eclipsing the performance of top cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin and Ethereum. Bitcoin, according to this article, up about 6.5%. Ethereum about 10.5%. Ethereum Classic up 47.4%. It's insane. What happened? This upsurge has positioned Ethereum Classic as a top performer within the roster of 100 leading cryptocurrencies by market cap today. Bitcoin experienced modest increase of 1% today. Ethereum saw a significant rise over 9%. So all the while, the trading volume for Ethereum Classic has soared, showing an increase of 234% of increase for trading volume, not price, within a single day, reaching about $1.5 billion there. So let's jump over here. MicroStrategies might be the smartest man alive right here. This dude right here. He said, Michael Saylor said, I'm buying Bitcoin at every chance I get. Well, he's up $500 million in unrealized gains. That means that he has not sold it yet, so they're not realized gains. When he sells it and takes profit, then they are realized gains. Unrealized gains so far this year. Guys, it's January 11th. I'm just going to put that out there. So this guy has made $500 million in 11 days. So shout out to Michael Saylor. NASDAQ listed business intelligence firm MicroStrategy, which really is just known for owning a lot of Bitcoin, now sitting on over $500 million there. So per the source, MicroStrategy's Bitcoin strategy has been paying off handsomely. And as the total cost basis of Bitcoin it holds on its sheet is reported to be about $5.8 billion. So that's what we have there. Let's jump over here and take a look at what we have on this article. Bitwise, they just launched one. They're one of the ETFs, guys. They are one of the ETFs. Bitwise to contribute 10% of spot Bitcoin ETF profits to advance the industry. So shout out to them. Big shout out to Bitwise. Obviously, a cryptocurrency institution here, not a bank. I will never ever see JP Morgan Chase, Jamie Dimon, giving up 10% of his profits so that he can further the cryptocurrency industry. So if you're going to get an ETF, if you guys are going to get out of crypto and you're putting anything into a Bitcoin ETF, make it Bitwise. I think that would be a solid move if you're going to do that. So they pledged 10% of their Bitwise Bitcoin ETF profits to nonprofits supporting Bitcoin open source development. So that's really cool. CEO Hunter Horsley funds Bitcoin core developers, calling them the unsung heroes that have been maintaining Bitcoin for 15 years. So round of applause for those guys and a round of applause for Bitwise. It's awesome to see, and I love it. I love it. Let's get over here. Robinhood, one of those people that's going to be covering this, and I'm these ETFs and offering it, and I'm pretty sure that TShroom is going to be jumping into this rapidly this week because he loves his Robinhood. Robinhood plans to list their spot Bitcoin ETF as quickly as it can. It says Robinhood CEO Vlad Tenev said the firm intends to list the 11 new. Whoa, what, sir? Thank you very much. Plans to list the 11 newly approved spot Bitcoin ETFs as quickly as it can. So that's about all we have on that one. Guys, do you have anything you want to talk about on the news today? Let me know. Do you have any articles?
Nah, man. Let's get to the charts. Everything is moving right now, unless you want to chat. Like, it's pumping.
We're going to charts. We're going to charts, man. Let's do it. Let's get off of that. Let's go over here. And I'm going to go ahead and start. Wow, it is really moving. I want to go ahead and show you guys this Dixie here. You can see this volatility coming in this morning. I'm looking at a 30-minute chart, and you can see that we had this big pump up here on the Dixie. Then we had a little pullback. It pretty much hit even with this former trend line that's now green, and then starting back up right now as we speak. Also, that line that it rejected off of there, guys, that is the upper resistance band of predictive ranges. So that is what happened with the Dixie. On that news, we got a lot of volatility kicking in on the Dow Jones, the S&P 500, and NASDAQ futures. But what happened with Bitcoin, guys? Well, Bitcoin said, yeah, I don't care. Dixie's dumping. That's cool. I'm here to replace it anyway. Or Dixie's pumping. I'm here to replace it anyways. I don't run away from it. I run with it. So that is what's going on with Bitcoin right now, coming in at almost $49,000, guys. What an amazing day. Looking at Bitcoin right there, you can see that it broke through its upper band there that we were talking about yesterday. So we had a predictive range frame up top there, and we have broke that one-to-one line, guys. My long-term running Fibonacci's that I've been watching in here for a while, that was, resistance forever in here. Let me go ahead and turn off the chart prime indicators so I can get some clarity here for you. There you go. Long time resistance levels here, right? Long time support on that 887. I said, guys, we're breaking here. And then we now have broken my one-to-one, which goes way back. So glorious day. Sad day that I'm going to have to lose my Fibonacci levels that I've been trading Bitcoin on forever. I'll have to go to new ones now. So, but yeah, Bitcoin absolutely ripping off. And then I want to take a look at Ethereum because Ethereum did this yesterday too. Guys, on the 30-minute here, you can see, which would be on any of them, but on the 30-minute, we're getting our rejection on the 786. I told you guys on Monday, well, no, my wife hates it when I say I told you guys. We discussed on Monday folks, that we were breaking this golden pocket. And if we take a look here, that golden pocket retest right there was on Wednesday. I said, look, we're fighting this. If we can get above this, because we were on a 4-hour chart, and I said, look, if we're pushing on this right now, there's Wednesday, there's Monday. We came back down. I said, if we can get up here and get above this 0.66, we would be heading to 2,700, just go psychological number. I said 2687 was a platinum pocket. That is where we are rejecting right now for resistance. So things looking pretty decent there on Ethereum. So I'm going to hand it off to you guys, and let's start just going through. Folks, in the chat, let us know what you want us to look at today. We have a lot of movement, a lot of volatility. We're going to try to get through as much of this as possible. We got about a good 35 minutes solid of TA time for you guys. Let us know in the chat. TradeFly, I'm going to kick it over to you first. Then we're going to push this over onto OC's desk, and we're going to rip through. Here we go.
Right on. Cool. Yep. So I got Ethereum up right now, just further confirmation, different ways of getting there. We did have that channel that was going up and right, as well as a horizontal level of resistance that lines up just perfectly with what Piper's talking about. So I say that 2,700 area is definitely an area to keep an eye on. You could see a little bit of a rejection initially, but you never know what's going to happen today. Sentiment, the market, everything is kind of euphoric right now. So sometimes TA goes out the window a little bit. We just try to find our areas that we could see some price action off of. Going back over to Bitcoin, give you guys maybe a couple of targets, or maybe just an area of where I think we could actually go. One of the areas I'm really keeping an eye on if we keep pushing up is going to be about 50 to 52K. All right. I know it's a little bit of a range there, but it's moving up and right. And like I said, people are getting a little euphoric. The news is coming out. Everybody's starting to inflow into these ETFs. But I'm just looking back on the charts, going on the daily and saying, hey, where do we have horizontal lines of resistance? I'll tell you, for me, 52K, right around 52.5 has always been a key area for me. You can see this red line's been on here for probably weeks. And that's just looking right here. You see the resistance, and then support. These are significant. And remember, these are tied into the all-time highs also. So keep an eye on that, set an alert. That I definitely expect some kind of price reaction off of those two areas. That's just short, sweet, and then we'll get into more details here in a bit.
Awesome. Good job. Good work there on that TA, man. Things are looking beautiful right now. OC, what you got for us, brother?
All right, let me get started with Bitcoin. The same thing. Let's take a look at what I was doing here. So basically shorting the asset here as it started moving upwards. Then that I was taking some 50% as we also were re-hitting this area. So no surprise there. Moving my stop to entry already out when it started moving upwards, and then of course getting something back down here, just like taking that commentary from TShroom. I did buy something. So basically, I'm in a secondary trade, not too much, high leverage, nonetheless, already taking some profits. And let me show you why. I do also carry a big bag of Bitcoin, so I'm not actually worrying if it's moving up and down. I'm in for the actual long run. My savings account, it's on Bitcoin, just so you know how deep am I with Bitcoin. All right, so the first thing I'm seeing is that I have one resistance there, and then if I start turning on my support and resistances, I also have another one. And next up, I do, let's see. I have, where is it? Here, a predictive range. Here we go. We have a purple one there. So I am expecting a little bit of a movement here, a breakthrough, since we are below or in with that red cloud. Although, we just got an ETF, things could start getting moving. I was expecting a little bit of more explosive movement. Nonetheless, cryptos are doing fantastic. Let me just take a look at what we're talking about Woo yesterday, and look at that, did not took me out on this trade, so I'm still within this trade and basically getting ready to start trailing the next movement up here on support and resistances. So far doing beautifully on the trades that I got going on, and trying to you guys. I up next AVAX just in line for the upcoming analysis, but yeah, trying it back to you guys.
Awesome. We had a request for ICP in the chat here. So taking a look at ICP, guys, we do have a high order block here above us, and we have a high order block way down here below us, laying in confluence with our trend line the dynamic reactor, and the trend assistant. This is looking like a very bullish area of support for us right now. Keep in mind, most things have been going up with Bitcoin. ICP doing a little bit opposite. Looks like some money might be flowing out of ICP into other stuff right now. It is down right now for the past 24 hours, about 3.6% there. So right now we are fighting with this resistance band right here that we're under. This is one of the bands of the predictive ranges. So we're fighting with that right now. We also have the money flow index point of control that's sitting right here also that we rejected out of cleanly. So I would be watching for support range coming in at about $11.42 here. That would give us that bounce on the order block and that dynamic reactor. But it does look like we could be seeing a little bit of downside. We did have a peak seeker printed right here on this. That indicates that that is a topping motion. We had one back here, and you can see what happened. We pulled down to the downside. So would not surprise me at all to see this come down and hit this level here for support, which would still be, in grand scheme of things, a higher high. But we also could be doing something right now that I want to show you guys. Let me bring this over here to like a 1 hour and see if I can get that same picture. Shoulder, kind of a wobbly head, and then another shoulder. So if we do get this up, watch for that breakout there of that inverse head and shoulders pattern there. So that's what I'm seeing there on ICP right now. But right now as we speak, bullish on the Ichimoku oscillator, looking decently bullish on RSI Prime, looking bearish on the Oscillator Pro, and this rejection that we did get there on the predictive ranges, giving me an idea that we might see a little pullback. Again, that level, $11 in, we'll call it $11.45 for support. So, Tradefly, what's up, bro? What you got for us, man?
I got Matic up, so I promised this one yesterday at the end of the show. Just looking at the 4 hour here for, yeah, I did. 4 hour chart here. We did have an ascending triangle. We did break out. We already hit the smart target. So there's the power of chart prime for you. And now we're up at the 0.236, which is about 95 cents. I love seeing this. You guys know I'm bullish on Matic. And then we do have the value area high. We're kind of flirting with so it's all, there's kind of a lot of confluence here, right? You see a lot of resistance. You see the value area high, more resistance. You see support. I'd say 95 cents, pretty significant area that we're flirting with right now. So if we do get a breakout and then we come back for a retest, man, we could get super bullish on Matic. But right now, we got to wait and see. We're definitely a wait and see. I would not long right here. Just let me put that out there. Looking at the indicators here, you can see we're getting into an overbought situation on the 4 hour, and the MVP oscillator looks like it's probably going to go up here over 100. And then it's probably going to bend back down most likely, right? Because it's an oscillator, goes in waves. So I wouldn't read too much into that though. I think a lot of it is going to be driven by the market news today, how the market actually reacts to the spot ETF approval. I would just say keep an eye on this area at 95 cents. And then if we do press past that, give you a couple areas to look at here. I'd say right at $1. That's a psychological number. I love trading psychological numbers. And then if we press through that, then you're going to look here at your top level, and that's going to be at $1.09. If we pull back, have no fear. I think you'll find some support here. You got the dynamic reactor in confluence with the 0.382 at about 86 cents. So I don't think we're going to pull back too hard, to be honest with you. There's just the sentiment is too good. If we do, like I said, there's a key area, 86 cents. We're at one now, and then look for $1 and $1.09 on Matic.
Nice. I do want to address L. Jones said, Piper Academy, any suggestions on what to do if we don't already have hodl bags? Should we wait for a big correction to 30K? Let's bring up the trio cam here. So first off, guys, we don't give financial advice. Just let me rephrase that. We not financial advice. So do your own research. This is just how I would do this. If I was looking at the markets right now and going, crap, I'm standing on the tarmac with all my bags watching the rocket fly away. I personally would go ahead and get a little exposure. Like I wouldn't ape in with everything. Like say I had $100, I'd put like $10 in. And then every time we have a red day pullback, drop another $10 in. It's always better to have exposure than to have none, and waiting for a comeback that may never happen, especially 30,000, 35,000. That could be a really far reach. I can see us, excuse me, I can see us coming back down to like 38,000, but not like 30,000, 35. I mean, anything's possible, but in my opinion, me personally, I would want a little bit of exposure and start dipping my toes in with a little bit more of my account every time we have a red candle day. There's going to be some. We're going to have little pullbacks, but waiting for a low target number to ape in everything might leave me standing on that tarmac forever. So that's how I think about that. TradeFly OC, what do you guys think on that?
No, I totally agree. And that's kind of why I said in the chat, like, again, yeah, like you said, not financial advice, but I'd probably start the DCA process. And I think pullbacks is one way to do it. Or, some people just do it every paycheck, or they do it once a month and they don't even care where the market's at. And if you did the math on that, if you go back and you started DCAing at all-time high and say you did it on a weekly basis all the way down and all the way back to where we're at, you're in profit, significant profit right now. So go back,
Yep.
do a little research and do a little back testing and do a little, do some calculations to see how that would work out for you. But that's what I always recommend to new people in the space. DCA, split your portfolio. I would say for me, this is my personal thing, 50% Bitcoin, 25% Ethereum, 25% whatever else you want, whatever you believe in, whether it's Matic, Cardano, any of the altcoins, maybe have 5% in DGEM plays. That's just a personal thing. And, that would be how I would approach it if I was just getting in.
OC, got some input there?
I will do exactly the same there. I mean, if I have nothing on especially Bitcoin, and this is not financial advice, I will get something. Again, not going too far in there. And also remember, getting on leverage, that is not actually getting. That is kind of like, putting your capital on risk. Just consider that, because if that starts moving south or north, depending on what you're getting it from, expecting for a direction, that could be going wrong. Still, again, not financial advice, but I'll be doing some spot grabbing, especially now that we have the ETF. I think also something that caught my attention, and I believe that it's amazing take, it's TradeFly's perspective on how he mentioned that he's going to be taking Bitcoin, Ethereum, some other important coins. For me, if I have the 100% of my wallet, just like Piper, I will be throwing a 10% on Bitcoin and maybe another 10%, 5 of that secondary 10% to Ethereum, and the other 5% divided in one or two more assets within the top 50 there. But again, not financial advice. That's what I would be doing if I had no exposure at all. And of course, always believing or thinking that it could be reversing on me. So when I buy and maybe pull back or reverses, I won't be like suffering because I'm seeing my numbers going red, right? So just bear that in mind. And when you get that, you're in for the long run or for the long run. Yeah.
I don't know if you heard the sirens there, but there were sirens going on for someone because the FBI just heard that you were giving financial advice. And no, hey, guys, just so you're tracking, Tuesdays coming here real soon. I think we might be starting either next week or the week after. Crux of Crypto and myself will be doing an afternoon episode every Tuesday. Talking about DCA and portfolio management and going over portfolios. We're going to be growing a totally separate portfolio with you guys. It's going to be totally tracked completely separate. We're going to be shooting for like $100, but some things on Ethereum, especially if we're doing it over MetaMask, have a little bit higher fees on that Ethereum network. So we might go a little over $100, but that is going to be our goal, is $100 portfolio add-in weekly. And Crux and I are going to be doing that live right here in the new studio. So we'll be bringing you that content. We got a lot of fresh new content coming to the channel. So OC, let's get back into the TA. I know you got some pulled up, and then we had a request for SEI. And we had a request for, what was the other one? We had SEI and something else here in the chat. I'll figure it out in a second. But yeah, we'll go ahead. Oh, it's SKL. Scale, SKL and SEI. TradeFly, if you want to pick one of those, let me know what it is. And then OC, you can go ahead and take your run.
Absolutely. So let's get started with AVAX. That's exactly where we left out yesterday. And that is important because that is looking very, very nice there. And also look at that trend line we are broken. So let me bring out my spaghetti here a little bit on that one. And remember, we were shorting, right, that dynamic reactor all the way to the predictive range that we had there, and also this height, which I believe it was a loud order block there. So that's what I was saying. All right, if we start breaking this trend line right here, all right, this one, and our flipping it up, and remember, I was expecting an actual flip of the ribbon right there. Well, then I'll be jumping for a long. So it seems like it. I was waiting for that confirmation. Let me make that much bigger so we can see it way better. What I did candle by candle. Here's where we started bouncing, and look at my entry was right at the breakout of this previous trend line, and then moving upwards, taking 50% out here, and then moving my stop to entry and waiting to see what's going to happen. I'm going to pitch very quick to ADA because they both are having that inverse head and shoulder or change of direction, and their strategy is basically the same. Look at that, almost exactly the same. The only difference it is that in here we were looking for a dead cat bounce because we were too far away from this dynamic reactor. We are above dynamic reactor, and let's just bring out very quick support and resistances because we are running into the money flow POC and also into a soft order block, and we are having some overbought areas in here, golden boxes. So just be careful. I'll be looking for a possible reversal because it is not about the breakout, it is about the retest, and if we find support to the upside, that will be a continuation to the upside.
Awesome. Appreciate that. I'm looking at SCI here, and then I'll kick it over to you, TradeFly, to take SKL. I believe that's what you said you were taking. Yep. Got it. Yep. Cool. All right, let's go ahead and take a look here, guys. Right now, I'm laying on some fibs, and we're going to see how this is looking. Let me turn off my chart prime indicators because I've never done TA on this one. You can see that we are riding right now above the 50-day and the 100-day exponential moving averages, so that's a good thing. You can also see here on the 4-hour right now that we had almost a 30% on the RSI bounce there, and then we also got the green signal line. Now, what I will point out is right now we're starting to get a curvature on this signal line. We're getting into that 70% now, and we're about to hit this bearish zone. That's that dash red line right there on the Oscillator Pro. We did get a nice clean retest here back here on the 50%, and then here we came down below the 382 a little bit, but now we've retested that 382 as a solid support. So it does look bullish on the time frame, 4-hour time frame right now for upside based on Fibonacci's, but the oscillators do look like it could be running out of steam. I would watch for a double top here at 88.2 cents for a rejection, and then a retest on this 236 for more upside, just like we did here, just like we did here, just like we did here. It's running this trend of hitting these Fibonacci's and going up higher and higher and higher, right? So that's what I would be watching for there. Double top, that would put all of these into that bearish zone again, and then give us that pullback to the 236 for a retest of support. So also, let's go in here and let's throw on a fixed range volume profile and see where a majority of the money is in here at. See if we're at a value area high. We do have a value area high sitting right here below support at 69.4 cents. So what I would do, let's come over here. Let's grab a T-box. Shout out to TA Tim. Turn off my magnet so I can draw it better. And we're just going to do a T-box right here at the 236 down to that value area low. And then that's where I would have a T-box at for a bounce zone, a support zone. Also, let's go in and let's turn off those fibs that I just did. Get rid of all the brush marks, all the Mexican spaghetti here. Hide that and hide that fixed range volume profile. Let's see what we got going on here with chart prime indicators. We do have we did bounce right here in a soft liquidity order block. I mean, so there is that going for us. That's a good thing. But when we look here, we have the money flow index sitting right there in that T box. That red that's coming in here, sitting across that red T box, that is your money flow point of control. So again, falling right in line with what I was talking about there. But we do have a trend assistant, a red trend assistant sitting above us. So we can get rejections off of that, and we often do right there, right there. Keep an eye on that as a resistance level also. Here is our trade bands of the predictive ranges, top and bottom, that blue line being your delta. You can see here that we are playing that also, rejection down. I had a little break below it here on some bad FUD news, obviously, but then it came back in, rejected off of that delta line, and then came back down here, tested that bottom. So target on that would be that top of that trade line, which again would be a double top on what we were just talking about there. That's what I got for SCI. TradeFly, let's kick it over to you, man. You got some SKL, some scale.
Oh yeah, got all kinds of stuff going on right here, right? Because SKL is acting a little different than the rest of the market right now. It looks like it's pulling back because it had an exponential move to the upside here. So let's go ahead and measure that just from bottom to top. Yeah, dude, that's a 400% move. So if you were early to that party,
Let's
congratulations.
go.
Jeez. Yeah. All right. And that's only as of October 20th. Good Lord. Hey, where were you at, man? I want to know about this sooner, okay? Let me know sooner.
I'm sorry.
I would appreciate that.
I'm sorry, man.
No, not you.
Hey, I don't
who
know
asked for this in the chat?
if you ever watched me on Trade Wars with Debate Crypto, formerly Debate Crypto, Crypto Keeper and Crusader. This was actually one of the tokens that I messed up on trading.
Oh, I remember that because it didn't have the total cap.
Correct. It was it had showed up in my top one over $1 billion. But then someone told me that that sometimes the total market cap will pick up another piece of data and put it in the wrong positioning. So yeah, it was supposed to be $1 billion or higher market cap, and I was trading SKL. So you've seen this before. I've talked about this before, that it's a quick mover. So you just forgot about it. You forgot.
It moved. It moved. So I guess I was sleeping or playing Call of Duty. All right, so taking a look at that. All right, so we have this area. I went ahead and made an area. It's pretty big in terms of like low cap and volatility, but what I'm looking at is some horizontal levels of resistance and support. That's my big thing. And you can see there's quite a bit of it here, right? So you see some resistance, you see some support. So we're kind of in a zone here. And if we pull back, I'll give you a couple of numbers to look back or look for. If we pull back, you got the 0.236 at about 86 cents. If we continue to the upside, this one's kind of hard because the move was so exponential. But if we continue to the upside here, I could see realistically, yeah, we could definitely get up to the 618 on the extension. And that's at about 12 cents there. 0.5 is another big player at about 11 cents. That'd be kind of the two big target areas I'd be looking for if you get that movement to the upside. And this is on the daily, by the way, just so you know. So want to go to the daily. Because I like kind of taking a bigger look at things here. Yeah, I mean, you got into the overbought situation, which I mean, there's no big surprise there because it moved so fast, and it's no big surprises. But maybe silver lining here, it is starting to print a bottoming indication here on the MVP oscillator. So maybe we'll start to consolidate. I think that's probably the likeliest of all situations, is that we stay somewhere in this range after that big movement. You might see the rest of the market move. This one maybe not so much, because people might start taking profits, rotating out. So I would see probably some consolidation here in about the 86 to about 10 to 11 cents range. And that's a pretty big area to give you. But unfortunately, when you have these big volatile moves, you're going to see big movements. You saw it with Solana. Solana just rocketed, right? And it moved between 126 and $84, right? That was the range it was in because it had just come off of that big explosive movement. So unfortunately, that's what I got for you. But I think consolidation is in the cards.
Nice. Yeah. SKL, quick mover, guys. You guys, if you're going to do it, you got to be careful with it. But that MVP telling us, it being up this high and that MVP starting to turn green there on that oscillator again already is like mind blowing. So
yeah, especially on the daily.
Who knows?
Yeah.
All right, OC, let's kick it over to you. And then I got a request to do some Tesla stock. So I'll jump into Tesla right after this.
Absolutely. Going to the crypto bubbles, everything looks green, as we already have seen. But the advantage is that we have EGLD there. We've been training EGLD, and we have an ongoing analysis there. So let me first remind you the Wyckoff thing that I really, really enjoy. And also Triplet, whenever you, I do remember you were talking about Wyckoff pattern. I don't remember in which coin. It will be an amazing, I believe, maybe kick on this one to look at how that played out. Nonetheless, on the EGLD, let's take a look at this area that we have going on. Let me make for a bigger zone in here so we can watch it to see it clearly. And remember that we have our main range in here, which is this main range. And then we have also our upper range and downward lower range right there. So on EGLD, look at that. I was expecting for that spring. It barely happened with that spring. And then it moved to the upside. Remember, I was looking for this bouncing here. What is happening now? It is that we are breaking within that range, and I could be possibly expecting that pullback and continuation to the upside. So it seems like I was slightly off on timing, nonetheless playing out very nicely. So guys, you know what I'm looking for at this point. And remember, we're still bearish. We're still below dynamic reactor, but also we have another trend line going on in here, and that is a possible change of scenario on EGLD. So looking good on EGLD. Passing it back to you guys.
Awesome. Let's jump over here into Tesla. I had a request to do some Tesla. Guys, looking at Tesla right now, not financial advice, but I have a little bit of money sitting over in my Robinhood account for dry powder still. It's been making that 5% APY over there in US dollars if you have Robinhood Gold. I think I'm going to pick up some Tesla today. Not financial advice. This is my idea. I might be picking this up today. So, taking a look here, what we got. We are coming down to the trend line, the trend assistant. Down here at this level, we also have a order block. This is a loud order block, guys. This is like a lot of volume in here that created this order block. On top of that, we also have our bottom band here of our predictive trade band, our predictive ranges. There's your delta, your top trade bands all the way up here. That is your lower trade band right here. In addition, we have a peak seeker. We have a bullish divergence all on the 4 hour. We are below the 30% and we're in the bottom range there of the Ichimoku signal line. So everything right now is telling us that this is a decent buy-in spot. And I'm looking at probably picking up some more Teslas today. So shout out to Arsan for having me look at this. One thing that I do want to point out here is we did lose the 382, and I want to pull this out here to show you guys exactly what I'm seeing, because there are a couple of factors here of bearishness. We are sitting below the 382. We lost that, and we still have the 236 sitting all the way down here at 220. That's one. Two, we lost our 300, our 200, our 100, and our 50-day exponential moving averages. That 300 has been key support for quite a while in here, and we have now lost that. However, this candlestick today is coming off of what I told you earlier, that sell-off in the traditional markets there, all because of this Dixie pump that we have going on off of CPI data this morning. Tesla does not stay down for long. So yeah, I'm probably going to pick up some Tesla today. It's looking like a very, very nice buy-in point. And it will lower my dollar cost average of what I have in on Tesla. So that's what I got there. Tradefly, are you ready for something? Do you have anything?
I got Caspa up.
All right. I didn't want to throw it at you out of the blue and, catch you off guard again. So
Nah, you're good, man. All right. So Caspa on the 4 hour. I'll be keep it simple. It looks bullish. All right. So you got up and right action here with the prime oscillator, and then MVP oscillator is also going up and right. We already had our little bottoming here right at 97 cents, which was the 0.5, one of Piper's favorites. You can see we definitely got a reaction off of that. Again, you see that wick there showing you that there is willing buyers, and we were off to the races, right? So we did have kind of a we'll say symmetrical triangle somewhat forming there. It seemed to kind of bounce out of it a little bit and then right back into it. And now we've broken out and we are doing one of OC's favorite things. We came down. Look at this little retest there, and boom. I bet if we go to the hourly, you'll actually see it a little bit more clear. But that's one of the things that he always talks about, right? You want to come down, you want to actually retest this area, and then off to the races, right? So that's kind of where you're looking for a long entry. And then we are now at the 0.236. So 0.236 is obviously going to be an area of resistance. So that's one of the things that I always look for is that initial movement off of those areas for a little bit of price action. Those are some of my favorite plays. But I think we're probably going to move through that. And so where do we go if we move through that area? Well, we got this big zone here, all the way up to about 15 cents. And then in there is going to be probably some resistance as well. So it's about 14 cents. I don't have that line up there, but there would be a nice little zone here of resistance as well as another Fibonacci level. So about 14 cents. I can see some movement up there, very likely. And then I would look probably for some consolidation in that area once we do get into that zone.
Yeah, if you zoom in on that candle a little bit and take a look at it on the 4-hour of how this candle is looking right now, and look how strong that candle is. I just want people to see this and see what's going on with Casper right now. Yeah, 4-hour. You want it on 4-hour, but I want them to see this 4-hour candle, how strong it is, and then go look at Bitcoin right now. Bitcoin and Ethereum getting some pullback right now and starting to wick back down. Caspa looking strong right now and holding its levels with the sell-off we got going on right now. So
yeah, looks like everyone's pulling back just a little bit. Yeah, it does look a little stronger though.
Yeah, it sure does. Caspa looks a little bit stronger right now than everything else. So yeah,
what that looks like on the hourly. Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yep.
yeah.
Yeah.
Go Caspa. By the way, guys, tomorrow morning, speaking of Caspa, tomorrow morning, we will have Crypto Archie here on the show, who's been talking about Caspa since like early 2022, like November 2022, I think it was that he was talking about it. So well over a year and almost a year and a half now, he's been talking about Caspa, and he's going to be here on the show tomorrow morning as a special guest, possibly laying out a few more little sprinkling of gems there for you, getting that alpha out for us. So yeah, join us tomorrow morning, 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time with Crypto Archie. Cannot wait. OC guy, what you got for us, man? You're muted, brother.
Oh, I got OP. I got OP. I do remember that yesterday it was called on the chat. I believe that we did not have enough time to look for it, so I'm pushing it right here. So we're breaking through that zero line. We are above. I'm looking for that possible retracement, especially on the oscillator. That doesn't mean that we're gonna be having that retracement on the price action, and I'm saying that because I do see a possible of a forming range in here. Basically, when we are supposed to retrace and we do a range, we do not retrace. That is a strength signal, and then when we flip back up, well, then it is a little bit more possible and probable that we keep moving upwards. So let me clear this up so we can start fresh on this one. And all right, let me start now turning on my my tools in here. So let me do some room, and yeah, we have a system right in here, so it could be a good point for start looking for a retracement. Then also let me see if we got something else here. We have a high order block in here, so again it could be also a retracement to our trend line and POC section here. All right, so nonetheless, let's see if I can find something that backs up my of range. Seems like there's not much into a range other than this golden line. But the only thing that working against me on this golden line, it is that previously this golden line have been broken, and basically we've been doing the range through that golden. Yeah, I don't mind be seeing it this way or even reaching this area here. But what is sure is that I'm going to be looking for a possible re-entry. We have FOR right there because we are still pretty bullish.
Nice, very nice. I've got because we talked about this on Monday. We talked about Bitcoin dominance on Monday on the show. And I said, guys, watch this line. This line was drawn on Monday. You can go back and look. 54.5%, I said, is where I would look at for a bounce down on dominance. And when that happens, you would see money start to move over into Ethereum. And once that happened, it would be altcoins that would start moving. That was on Monday. There's the rejection on Monday evening. And there is the Tuesday, Wednesday, and today. Guys, we talked about this on Monday about Bitcoin dominance. Right now, dominance was in Bitcoin. It was on its way up. It was moving. All the ETF hype had money flowing into Bitcoin. Once it hit that level and started to reverse, that we would be looking for money to flow into Ethereum. And then what happened this week with Ethereum? Outperformed Bitcoin over the past 7 days. So, plus the altcoins just absolutely ripping off with it. So, guys, if you were here on Monday, you could have looked simply at the Bitcoin dominance chart. Listen to what we were talking about. Did your research on your coins that you were looking at, seeing if it was following that path that we said the cycle runs in, and you would have been doing really good. So I just wanted to show that because Bitcoin dominance right now, hitting that 50-day exponential moving average right now for support, but we are back below the trend line here that I've been tracking for a while. We are falling back below that trend line, and this trend line goes all the way back, guys. So just so you're tracking to 27 November of 2022, not 2023, 2022. So this line has been in play for a long time. We are back below it right now, getting a rejection off of that. But we do have that support again on the exponential moving average for the 50. That does tend to give us a support level here. And so how do you trade this, you're asking? Well, OC, I'm glad you asked that. When this starts moving back up, it means that money is flowing again into more Bitcoin than it is altcoins. Sometimes it might be new money coming in. Like right now, we have new money coming into Bitcoin right now. So it might be new money, but a lot of times it is money flush out of other assets in the crypto class into Bitcoin. So be keep an eye on this and be keeping an eye on this level right now, this trend line that we're on. Matter of fact, I'm going to go ahead and set this on a 4-hour. And then we're going to come over here and we're going to put this and add an alert on that trend line. And I want this to go at the bar close. If it is higher than, greater than that line at the bar close, it will give me an alert. And then I'll put check BTC DOM. And I spelt check wrong, but I will fix that. There we go. Damn, bang, bang. There we go. Check Bitcoin dominance, and that will tell me to go check it out. But that's what I did right now. This long-term running trend line here, getting that bounce on the 100 on here for the daily. But keep an eye on it, guys. This is a great indicator of money going in and out of different assets within the crypto world. So, TradeFly or OC, do one of you have anything? Or we can go ahead and wrap it up here.
I got a bonk up if you want to look at that.
Do bonk. Do a quick thing on bonk, and then we'll run out of here.
All right, cool. I'll keep it super, super quick. I got an important level for you to look at. It's called the golden pocket. 0.65 to the 0.618. So just if you're trying to do that, take the Fibonacci retracement tool, go from where you see the low here, your up thrust, and then up to the high. All right, so that will give you some very important levels to look at. And one of them here, I'm not going to give you all the zeros, is from 1.8 to about 2.0. And you can see all this area of support and resistance in that zone. Shows you confluence. You see an order block in that area. So put it on your charts, mark it, set an alert. Like I said, anywhere from 1.8 to 2.0 is a very key area I would be looking at. And that would be your indication. If we break that area, you see the retest, that we could see some continuation to the upside. There you go.
Sweet. Yeah, shout out to LBC, Lunar Beach Crypto in the house, and Alex O Crypto, friends of the show. They have great shows themselves. If you guys go check them out, if you click their name, you can actually find their channel. So shout out to both of them. But Lunar Beach Crypto just said that Circle has filed for their IPO. We talked about this on the show and the news a couple of weeks ago, but evidently now official. They're filing for an IPO. They are going to be a publicly traded company. If you don't know who Circle is, they are the developer for USD coin. So there you go. TradeFly OC, you got anything for the people on the way out?
It's official. All right. But as always, thank you guys for tuning in. Truly, truly appreciate it. If you got anything today, go ahead, give us that like and subscribe. Here's your little fireworks emojis. Let's see if it comes up. Maybe, maybe not. Yep, of course, because I want it to. It's not going to work. But
exactly. But if you did it on accident,
yeah, pre-show, I'm just like, hey, mine works. Yeah, well, not now. Cool though. But hey, thank you. Love having you guys in the chat. Love having you guys on the show. Love being here every day. And with that being said, boo.
OC, what you got, bro?
Guys, thank you so much for being here. The ETF has been approved. We're making history all together, guys. So let's keep watching the show, guys. Please bring us also a couple of coins to be looking at. We are always excited to have you here and also to read your comments. So, guys, again, stay safe. And Piper, all yours, brother.
All right. Guys, thanks for joining us here today on Piper Academy. We always appreciate you guys joining us here. We're going to be back tomorrow morning. Special guest, Crypto Archie, is going to be here with us. Thanks for joining us today. If you guys got any value out of this content, don't forget to hit that like button. And if you're new here, hit that subscribe and that notification bell. We'll be back tomorrow morning, 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on Piper Academy, bringing you guys the charts, the news, and the markets, and everything you need to have knowledge, because knowledge is profit. Till then, trade safe. And as always, guys, right there, use the stop loss.
That was awesome, dude!